All right, so we're adding up numbers here. So in Excel, every formula starts with an equal sign. That's how Excel knows it's a formula. And that's how Excel knows we're going to do some math or do some sort of function here. So I'm going to hit the equal sign to start. And I'm going to type B2 plus B3. So what does that mean? If you're familiar with Excel, you'll know that B2 and B3 are what we call cell references. B2 is the cell that's in column B, row 2, and B3 is the cell that's in column B, row 3. And what we're saying here is, hey, add up the number that's in B2 plus the number that's in B3. And that gives us 250. Okay, so Excel also offers built-in functions. So a function is something that performs a specific task. It might be math related, it might be related to text, it might be related to finding things within a range of cells. But so the sum function is a pretty easy one. It basically does the same thing we just did, but in a more organized way. So what I'm going to do is, again, start with the equal sign. I'm going to write sum. That's the name of the function. And then for functions, all the inputs go within parentheses, and they're separated by commas. So B2, comma, B3, closing parentheses. So it's the equal sign, the name of the function, and then all the inputs. So we have B2, comma, B3. So these are the two cells that we're adding together. We can add more if we want. We could add a bunch. We can add, D4. We can add C6. Whichever ones we want to add. But we're just looking at B2 and B3 right now. So we're going to go ahead. Guess what? Still 250. Now we can pass a range of cells into a function by using the colon. So B2 colon B6 means every cell from B2 to B6. So let's say we want to find January revenue. I'm going to type in equal sign sum. Now I can type in B2 colon B6, closing parentheses. You know what I can also do? I'll click from B2 and drag down to B6 and let go, and then type my closing parentheses. I can do that too. If I want to get crazy, I can also hit the up arrow. So while I'm typing a formula and I have this open parenthesis, Excel knows a cell reference is going to come next. So I can start using my arrow keys to move around here. I'm flying around. I'm going to come up to B6, hold Command and Shift on a Mac or Control and Shift on a PC, and hit the up arrow. And go down, hold Shift and hit the down arrow key once. That's another way to do it. In any case, as long as I have B2 colon B6 in my parentheses, then I'm adding up the right stuff. So that's what I need to do. Okay, now we're using the sum function to find the total revenue for February. So yeah, same thing, equals sum. I'm going to click and drag. And there we go. Okay, now the CFO tells you that February revenue was misreported and the total needs to be increased by $100. I don't know, guys. This is just an example. If the CFO really tells you to do this, you got some kind of like Enron stuff going on. But just bear with me here for this example. So we got sum. We got C2 colon C6, which means everything from C2 to C6. And then guess what? We're going to add an extra 100 to that sum. And we can add more stuff too. We can add 300. We can add another cell reference. Whatever we put in these parentheses, we're going to add up to the total. So this is the February revenue plus 100. And that gives us 1,100. Okay, now we're going to use the sum function with the argument B7 to G7. So argument, that just is another word for inputs. Some people might call them parameters. It's just different words for the same thing. So sum function with the argument B7 to G7 to find the total revenue from January to June. So we have total revenue down here for January, February, March, for all these different months. And now we want to find the total of the totals. So yeah, easy. I'm going to say equals sum. We said B7 to G7, right? So there we go. Okay, write a sum formula to find the total sales from January through June. Okay. Sum. Use my arrow keys here. Closing parentheses. Yeah, total revenue. Boom, there we go. Write a sum formula to find out the total number of bats counted across all cave sites. Spooky. So, yeah, same thing. Okay. Hit enter. There we go. Write a sum formula to find the total bat count across both nights. Okay, so I'm going to hit equals sum. Now, total bat count across both nights. So I think that's this. B2 colon C2. I could also do B2 comma C2. Same thing. Either way works. Now write a sum formula to find the total flight time across all three observation towers. Okay, so equals sum this range, because this is flight time, across the three observation towers, and hit enter.